Here it is, the new best game of all time. Game of the year in all categories. My favorite game to ever exist. Definitely a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It's Ultra Kill. Shit, wrong script. Elden Ring! Seriously though, Elden Ring and Ultra Kill are tied for first as my favorite games of all time. I am not a generous critic. I gave Doom Eternal a 9, and that is my third favorite game of all time. Dark Souls 3 is also a 9, and that's my fourth favorite game. After that, all other games are 8 or below. I've probably played hundreds of games in my life, and only 4 are 9s or 10s. Just so you know, this review contains spoilers for Elden Ring, so yeah, click off now if you don't want to be spoiled, or if you haven't beaten the game yet, I'd recommend you just walk away now. But yeah, don't get mad at me if you get spoiled because I warned you. So anyway, Elden Ring is an open-world action-adventure RPG notorious for its difficulty. Its expected length is 100 hours. It took me 84 hours, and I'm a hardened Souls veteran. It sold 17 million copies in the first month. Those are Call of Duty numbers. But does the game deserve its success? Hell yes! I have almost 100 hours in this game, and I got it on March 12th. On my main character, I roleplay a black knife assassin. I have become the darkness. I am the thing that haunts your nightmares. I could kill you in less than a second, and if you blink, I'm already gone. I am Death's Blade, and I'm good at what I do. Let's talk about the story. You play as an undead tarnished. You are worthless. You are less than nothing. You are destined to die, again and again and again. Elden Ring is not an easy game. You start from nothing, and you build yourself up to an Elden Lord. You know, a great fool once said one wise thing in his entire life. And he said, Elden Ring should not be called Elden Ring. It should be called You Died, again and again and again. That was probably the only accurate thing in that guy's entire review, but unfortunately I can't show the clip or even say the guy's name because he's a notorious copyright abuser, so yeah. The game takes place in the lands between, a world full of horrible monsters and great heroes. A massive tree, known as the Erd Tree, can be seen from any point above ground. Speaking of above ground, this game has hundreds of caves and dungeons to explore underground. This game is utterly massive. When the Elden Ring fell and it showered around him, Godwyn the Golden was the first to fall. He was gutted by the Black Knife Assassins, Julius Caesar style. The Black Knife Assassins were the ones who kick-started the story, and they're assassins, which is probably why they're my favorite faction. I have a great respect for assassins. It's challenging work, out of doors, and they can guarantee you won't go angry. Assassins will always exist as long as sentient life exists. Because at the end of the day, as long as there are 2 people left on the planet, someone is gonna want someone dead. After the Elden Ring shattered, the children of Queen America claimed the shards, demigods all. There are 6 bosses holding great runes: Godric the Grafted, Starscourge Radahn, Melania, Blade of Mikala, Morgot, Lord of Blood, Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, and Morgot, the Omen King. All of these bosses seem to be insurmountable challenges, but they aren't. Every legend can be felled with enough grit and determination. Godric the Grafted is a warrior who grafted the bodies of many challengers to his own. He has dozens of arms, and he dual-wields axes. Starscourge Radahn is a massive warrior who mastered gravity magic so he could ride his small horse into battle after he became far too large for it. Melania, Blade of Mikala, is a great swordswoman who is never known defeat. When pushed to her absolute limit, she becomes a goddess of rot, and then she kicks your ass all over again. Melania took me 78 attempts, and I am really good at Souls games. Back in Dark Souls 3, I once beat the Nameless King, then the Soul of Cinder, back to back on my first try for that playthrough. I was such a legend at that game, like really, I was really good. Morgot, the Lord of Blood, is a 10-foot tall warrior wielding a trident. He can throw boiling blood at you, and he has an undodgeable attack that causes you to take 3 consecutive blood loss hits. The only way to survive is to heal in between each of the 3 hits, or to use your Flask of Wondrous Physique and use a special effect on it. Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, is a massive, god-devouring serpent with pyromancy and a greatsword made from hundreds of devoured corpses. Finally, Morgot, the Omen King, is a warrior with a sword and holy magic. He guards the Elden throne and the entrance to the Erd Tree. After collecting 2 of these 6 great runes, you gain access to Lendil, capital city of the lands between. The Erd Tree lies at the center, and the point of the game is to get inside. Once you defeat Morgot, you find that the entrance to the Great Tree is blocked by impenetrable thorns. The only way to get through is with the flame of the fire giants, so you make your way to the mountaintop of the giants to get the flame. You have to slay the fire giant, and then you set the Erd Tree aflame. Once you do this, you are transported to the crumbling Farum Azula, which is a city in the sky, broken and ridden by storms and tornadoes. You make your way through the city until you reach Malekith, the Black Blade. You kill him and take destined death, which gives you the power to slay gods. The Black Knife Assassins used it to slay Godwyn of the Golden Order, I think. Not entirely sure on that particular part of the lore. Anyway, you make your way back to Lendil past Sir Gideon the Ofnir, the All-Knowing, and to the Elden Throne, where you fight Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. Once you beat him, you enter the Erd Tree and face off against Radagon, also known as Queen Marika. Once you kill her, you fight the Elden Beast, a creature made from stars. I swear, the endgame is just 5 bosses in a row. Anyway, after that, you mend the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. The story is complex, but it isn't forced upon you in any way. The game is just pure fun. You fight disgusting monstrosities and brave soldiers. The game focuses on combat rather than story, but that doesn't mean the story is bad. The game is a better story than any other game I have ever played. The combat is also amazing, and it is so much fun to just play the game. My personal favorite boss is Star Scourge Radahn, who is a titanic warrior who rides a tiny horse. He actually uses gravity magic to avoid crushing it, which is really funny, if you ask me. You can summon almost every fighting NPC in this battle, and it is a ton of fun to wage war against this beast of a foe. Halfway through the fight, he leaps up into the air, then comes down like a falling star. He can one-shot you with this move if you don't dodge it, and he will most likely kill half your team with it. Another boss that I love is Morgot, the Omen King. This was my reaction when I saw him for the first time. Well, second time actually. You see him as Margit, then you see him as Morgot. This was my reaction. You're back? You want to go for round 2? Let's go! The only thing I can really complain about is the performance. The graphics are amazing, but it has occasional lag spikes and crashes. These issues are not game-breaking, and the game is still worth buying, despite these problems. This game is just so much fun, and I cannot recommend it enough. Even if you haven't played a single Souls game before this, it is still a very enjoyable experience. Again, hats off to From Software for this 10 out of 10 masterpiece. This is Deepshade, the Queen's Wrath, signing off.